I would love to tell you that I wake up at 5 in the morning, hit the gym, take a cold shower, green juice, 30 grams of protein, 1 hour meditation, and finally then I get to start my day. However, then I'd be lying. Here's what I do instead. I have developed 7 habits over the last 5 years which have made me significantly happier and wealthier in my life, and today I will share those with you. The first one is to build multiple income streams. An average millionaire has about 7 income streams. In 2017, I saw some of my senior consulting partners get laid off, and that cemented in me this idea that one income stream, even if that is a huge income stream, is not 100% risk-free. So I started building multiple income streams, and today I have built up a few, which means that even if tomorrow my company shut down or I lose my job, I don't have to worry about where my next mortgage payment comes from. It is incredibly financially freeing, but also it has ripple effects on your mental health because you are not constantly worrying about money. Habit number 2 is reading and learning. I have always been a voracious reader since my childhood, but I had lost that habit of reading in my early 20s because of so many distractions in life. I'm glad to say that I have restarted reading, and reading not only for the sake of reading not only for a vanity metric of I read X number of books in a year, but reading for learning and then implementing those lessons in my life. If I read 10 books through the year and I have implemented 10 lessons from those books in my life, that's good. If I have read 100 books and have implemented 0, that's no good. So this is a habit that I cannot highly recommend enough. Habit number 3 is developing a growth mindset. Now, I'll be honest, this did not come easily to me. I was used to being the class topper for most of my life, and then when I failed very publicly, I was absolutely shocked. I thought that was the end of it all. This is as far as my successes go, and that is when I went down into a reeling depression. However, what I finally came to realize is that the failure is only cemented as a failure if I fail to learn from that opportunity. Since then, I have started taking failure in my stride, and I have regularly failed. It's embarrassing to say the number of times I've failed in the last 5 years, but I have also learned quite a lot because of those failures, and today I could not be happier celebrating my failures as much as I celebrate my successes. Habit number 4 is curate your company. Jim Rohn famously said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. And I couldn't agree more. In fact, in my life, I have found that whenever I've spent more time with average people, I have got average results. And when I have spent time with outstanding people, I have had outstanding results. But this obviously does not mean you start cutting average people off from your life. How do you even know what average people are? The fact is that there are no average people. People are average in some respects and extraordinary in other respects. This simply means that you want the people around you who match your goals and aspirations in life. So if you want financial success, you want to be surrounded by people who are invested in their personal financial success. If you want to start a business, you want to be around a group of entrepreneurs who are already at their A game. In fact, as of today, curating a list of people to be around is extremely simple. You can pick 1 or 2 mentors that you generally vibe with and listen to every podcast, every audiobook that they have mentioned, they have been on, and you start imbibing a lot of what they say in your subconscious, and that is how you better yourself every day. Habit number 5 is saying no. And saying no is hard. I get it. I have struggled with this for the longest time. But what really made the switch for me was that saying no somewhere means you are saying yes somewhere else in your life. So unintentionally, when we say yes, we unintentionally say no to a lot of things we could be doing in that time. However, when we intentionally intentionally say no, we also intentionally say yes to the priorities that we have set in our lives. And I understand that this could come across as a bit selfish and impersonal, but in fact, it is absolutely the opposite of that, because you are therefore creating more time and space for the relationships you value in life, for the things that you value more in life. So personally, in my case, when I say yes to a random coffee chat, I say no to spending an hour with my son. So it's about setting your priorities and then actually sticking to them by saying no ruthlessly to everything that is not a priority. Habit number 6 is practicing the mindset of abundance. Now, abundance is a loaded concept. Everyone talks about it, but I truly believe that abundance is everywhere around us. There's an abundance of opportunities that we can pursue that will make us money. Instead of thinking about everything that could go wrong, if we thought about everything that could go right, we tune into abundance. You can also tune into abundance by stopping the excuses. So if you focused on how you could make it work, that's a much better question to solve than coming up with answers for why this wouldn't work. So personally, for me, I have a business, I have a full-time day job, I have a family to look after, and I stay miles and miles away from my home. I could very well say that this can't work for me because I don't have time. However, I choose to find time, and putting that personal power back to yourself and making a choice and a decision every day to pursue what you want to pursue, rather than focusing on the 10 reasons why this would never work because I don't have time, has really empowered me to become more productive, more happy, less bitter, and more wealthy as well. And habit number 7 is planning in decades. Bill Gates famously said that people overestimate how much they can do in a year and underestimate how much they can do in 10 years. And I truly believe that. I have always been a long-term thinker, and I want to have a direction of travel that keeps me excited to go on that journey called life. So while talking about 10-year plans, obviously I don't mean to intricately plan out what you will do in each year, every year till the 10 years. What I mean is, you know your direction of travel. You probably know what you'll be doing this year and perhaps next year, and as you go further out into the future, it keeps getting more vague. That's okay, because you know the direction of travel. And that is what I think we all need to inculcate to become more wealthy in our lives, to own our time, to own our money, to own our freedom. And talking about all of that, this YouTube channel is actually a part of my 10-year vision rather than something that I want to monetize right away, which is why I realized that I have to be consistent, I have to be motivated. And talking about YouTube and motivation, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and dropping a comment with which habit was your favorite would motivate me tremendously to create the next one. And if you enjoyed this, you might also enjoy other videos like this or this on my channel, which will help you make more money in your life. Thank you, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.